strategy right from the get-go.
Sure was. For whatever it's worth, McLaughlin knew she could take the punches, and that is
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be discussing women's sports and trans women in women's sports. So before we move forward, I want to thank you all always for watching and supporting this channel. It's very important to me, and these conversations are very important to me. So with that, I want to let you know first, my stance, I think you probably all know, it's not too hard to figure out, but trans women are biological males, and that's a fact. And I do not believe that they should be competing with biological females, even if they have been on hormones and they have had genital surgery and all of that. I still believe it is an unfair space. We have a lot to cover here, so I want to get on with this before it turns into a 50-hour-long video. So that being said, I have brought up, first off, if you didn't know, U.S. boxing has now enabled transgender women and men, but you know, this conversation isn't really about trans men, because as we know, that men don't feel threatened by trans males, and we don't have a lot of trans male athletes slaughtering men in competition, and we know why. Biology. So with that, the U.S. Boxing Association has now opened it up to transgender women to compete against biological women. Totally disagree with that. But here's the policy. Real quick, I'll read this particular part to you that I think is the most important part. And that being said, this is the new sort of revised version of the U.S. boxing. And it says, a boxer who transitions from male to female is eligible to compete in the female category under the following conditions. 1, the athlete has declared that her gender identity is female and has completed gender reassignment surgery. Do we understand what completion of gender reassignment surgery is? Is there somewhere where it states exactly what that means? Because I'm reading in other spaces that it includes genital surgery, but nowhere does it say that. It says must complete gender reassignment surgery. Let me tell you something. I've had gender reassignment surgery, but I did not get my genitals redone to male genitals. So I think that's a bit of a loophole there, and I don't necessarily think that means that they need to have genital surgery. It does not say that specifically. It says completed gender reassignment. I had gender reassignment surgery, yet I do not have male genitalia. So I'm pretty sure that you don't have to have genital surgery in order to be a female when it comes to this space. The second thing, the athlete for a minimum of 4 years after surgery has had quarterly hormone testing and presents USA Boxing with the documents. The athlete must demonstrate that her total testosterone level and serum has been below 5 nanometers for at least 48 months prior to the first competition. Oh my gosh. So, bottom line is, they had to have gone through some form of transition. I don't even know what that means. That feels too vague to me. And they have to say they're a woman. What? Anyone can say they're a woman. So these athletes have gone through puberty, male puberty. They are going to be stronger than biological females. I can't even believe that we continue to have this conversation. We're putting women in a very, very dangerous space. That's how I feel about it. So here's the first video we're going to react to. I think this one, I picked a couple videos that I found on the internet that I also have had issues with. These two fighters I'm going to show you are not boxers, but they're MMA fighters. And if you watch MMA or UFC or anything, that's brutal. Okay? So here's this first. Her name is Alana McLaughlin. And if you have seen prior photographs of her before her transition, she was like a big buff military dude and has a lot of military training. So I'm gonna show you this clip right here. We'll talk about it for a minute here, but I want you to see it's Alana McLaughlin who's a trans woman, a biological male, fighting Celine Provost. Okay, so here we go.
Here in the first week of September, second week of September, it happens.
And you can see they're trying to bring down to the double leg, took her down to the ground. She worked her way in, got Celine tired, until eventually she was able to take her down and work for the submission. I'm sure that was in the books. That was a strategy right from the get-go.
It sure was. For whatever it's worth, McLaughlin knew she could take the punches, and that is those punches. I mean, that was deep laid in there.
And Celine busted open.
She destroyed that woman. In fact, she totally destroyed. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. It's pretty brutal. She slammed. The woman did hold her own. I think she did do a good job. But the bottom line is this: Alana, who's a biological male, kicked her butt. Duh. It's MMA. It's actually dangerous. Let's just be honest here. This is dangerous. Why do women now have to fight males? Right? It's not fair to the woman to have to fight a male because the male says they're a female. It's just not okay. How do trans people think we're going to be respected in the world when we do stuff like this? It's false. It's wrong. And it's hurting female sports. Why do trans women feel like they need to be in this space? This is the part of the question that really boggles my mind. Why do you as a trans woman feel like you really just need to be in this space to slaughter women? It just blows my mind. So this second one that I'm going to bring up for you is this woman named Fallon Fox. And I think she's a trans woman, a biological male who's an MMA fighter. And oh my God, this one is super brutal. This one totally, I got into it with Fallon. Me and Fallon are not friends, and I told her you should not be fighting with biological women, and she got pissed at me. I was on Joe Rogan talking about it, and she goes, you threw me under the bus. No, I didn't. I've never said you should be competing with women, ever. It's not a fair fight at all. So let's watch this one right now. Brutal.
Holy cow. Game over.
Like 29 seconds into the fight. Just ripped that girl's head off. Messed her up. Broke her head, by the way. Listen.
Your winner by knockout, Fallon Fox.
How you feeling right now? I'm feeling excellent. That was sweet, huh? Did you like that? Yeah!
And people were booing. Did you hear that? They were booing. And Fallon just has such a male, gnarly energy. Does not come off in any way, shape, or form to me. I don't know. I personally don't particularly care for that person. I think that they have been a grifter for a long time, and I think they've been just really nasty towards women, and they just have that male energy. It's just there. Sorry, but it's just there, and it just comes off so nasty and so unfair. It just boggles my mind. This one just recently, I think this was last month in Canada, in Quebec. And this is a female boxer. Her name, I can't remember her name right now, but she's amazing. And she actually decided that she's not going to fight. So this is a quite interesting story. So she is a Canadian boxer, and she was getting ready to go in the ring with this other woman. And about an hour prior to the actual event happening, I think somebody texted her and told her that she's fighting a transgender woman. She didn't know. She did not know she was fighting this biological male. So she immediately pulled out. She has every right to do that for her own safety, as well as the fact that she was not informed. She should 100% be informed that she is fighting a transgender woman. 100%. The fact that she wasn't says a lot to me about that trans woman, as well as this particular boxing space. How dare you do that? So let's listen to what she has to say. She speaks in French, so you can see the subtitles here.
Mais je pense que les femmes n'ont pas à endosser ces risques-là que d'une décision qu'un homme a pris pour sa santé psychologique ou peu importe, c'est sa vie personnelle, il a fait le choix de devenir une femme. Moi, je respecte ça, là, mais il ne faut pas que ce soit les femmes qui...
That's right. Women should not have to bear the brunt of this. And she's being very polite about it. She's like, that person made the choice to live as a transgender woman. She has no issues with that at all. She's not in any way being transphobic. She's just being like, I'm not fighting a dude. Are you kidding me? That's just not fair. Plus, nobody told me. Her name is actually Katie Bissett, and I think she's a badass for doing that and not actually competing against the trans women. So this part is the part that I think is very, very interesting to me. This is the trans woman boxer who Katie was going to box against and decided not to once she found out she was a trans woman. So this is the trans woman, and I think her name is Maya, and she's explaining this. Listen.
My opponent made the decision to withdraw from the tournament based solely on a text message received from another coach. And rather than asking me or my coach or even Boxing Quebec for any further information, she went directly to the media and outed me publicly. Best way to ensure fair competition is not going to be to tighten regulation or require arbitrary and invasive testing, but to trust coaches and athletes to select the most gender appropriate category for their gender. Actions like these.
Oh my God. This person who's a biological male said that Katie outed her. No, nobody outed you, my friend. You needed to be honest about who and what you were before you were not honest. And now you're mad that you got caught. You were going to go in that ring pretending you were an actual biological female when you're not. That should be immediately disqualify you 100% because you're not honest. You know, Fallon Fox did the same thing. Fallon Fox didn't tell their opponents that she never disclosed that she was a trans woman ever until she busted that woman's face and head and injured that woman. Then it came out that she was a trans woman. So why are these women, trans women, not being honest about themselves? There's a reason they're not being honest, because they know that they have an actual advantage over biological females. The fact that this person said they were outed is absurd. In fact, you didn't tell the truth, and that is not okay in any way, shape, or form. If you're a trans woman, you have to be honest about it if you're going to compete against women. Period. Done. So they won the tournament because the female dropped out of it because she refused to fight. So they gave it to the trans woman. So she didn't really win. She only won from that technicality of the woman removing herself from the fight, which is so gross. What I wanted to mention here is that this sweatshirt I'm wearing is from April Hutchinson. And April is a Canadian powerlifter, amazing woman. And she also complained against powerlifting against a biological male. And because of that, she got a 2-year suspension in Canada because she refused to powerlift against a biological male. So I'm going to put April's, she's doing a campaign, and I think we should all support her, and I'm going to put that in the description of this video because I really do think we have to support female athletes at this point, and it's in no way, shape, or form am I against trans women competing. Trans women should be competing against trans women or men. They should not be competing against women unless all women are okay with it. And that's just my stance on it. I don't really care if you think I'm transphobic or I'm being anti-trans women. I am not. Trans women have every right to compete just like everybody else, but in a fair way. And when you're competing against females and females do not want to compete against you, you as a trans woman have to be very okay with that. In order for us to try to fix what's going on in this world and why people don't like us, I wonder why. You're just handing it to them. So until trans women and the trans community starts to be honest about our biology and understanding the pros and cons, and that trans women are biological males and they have a lot of advantage over females. Thanks so much for watching. I so appreciate you. If you like these videos, please let me know. I'll continue to keep doing them. And also, I really appreciate if you comment and help to raise this video and show it to people who probably need to see it. And with that, ring that little bell thing so you know when I'm coming on. And I'll see you all soon, and have a beautiful rest of your day. And thank you so much for listening. I do appreciate you very much.